Good morning, everyone. I am EKTA RANA, Assistant Professor of English. Welcome to the session of English Literature, 20th Century British Literature. Today we will discuss absurdism and theatre of absurd. Let's start with theatre of absurd. It is dramatic works of certain European and American dramatists of the 1950s and early 1960s who agreed with the existentialist philosopher Albert Camus' assessment in his essay The Myth of Sisyphus, 1942, that the human situation is essentially absurd, devoid of purpose. The term is also loosely applied to those dramatists in the production of those works, though no formal absurdist movement existed as such. Dramatists as diverse as Samuel Beckett, who has written Waiting for Godot, Eugene Ionesco, Jean Genet, Arthur Adolphe, and Harold Pinter, and a few others shared a pessimistic vision of humanity struggling vainly to find a purpose and to control its fate. Humankind in this view is left feeling hopeless, bewildered, and anxious. Some of the members of Theatre of Absurd are Samuel Beckett, Albert Camus, Harold Pinter, Eugene Ionesco, Jean Genet, Brindan Behan, Arthur Adamov, Fernando Aravel. And some of the significant works of this theatre, absurd theatre, are The Lesson, The Bald Soprano, Rhinoceros, The Myth of Sisyphus, The Waiting for Godot, Birthday Party. The ideas that inform the plays also dictate their structure. Absurdist playwrights therefore did away with most of the logical structures of traditional theatre. There is little dramatic action as conventionally understood. However, frantically the characters perform, their busyness serves to underscore the fact that nothing happens to change their existence. In Samuel Beckett's Waiting for Godot, 1952, plot is eliminated and a timeless, circular quality emerges as two lost creatures, usually played as tramps, spend their days waiting, but without any certainty of whom they are waiting for or of whether he or it will ever come. Language in an absurdist play is often dislocated, full of clinches, puns, repetitions, and non sequiturs. The characters in Ionesco's The Bald Soprano, 1950, sit and talk, repeating the obvious until it sounds like nonsense, thus revealing the inadequacies of verbal communication, the ridiculous purposeless behavior, and talk gives the plays a sometimes dazzling comic surface. But there is an underlying serious message of metaphysical distress. This reflects the influence of comic tradition drawn from such sources as commedia dell'arte, vaudeville, and music hall, combined with such theatres arts as mime and acrobatics. At the same time, the impact of ideas as expressed by the surrealists, existentialists, and expressionist school and the writings of Franz Kafka is evident. Originally shocking in its flaunting of theoretical conventions while popular for its apt expression of the preoccupations of the mid 20th century, The theatre of absurd declined somewhat by the mid 1960s. Some of its innovations have been absorbed into the mainstream of theatre, even while serving to inspire further experiments. Some of the chief authors of the absurd have sought new directions in their art, while others continue to work in the same vein. With the let me wind this lecture, and in the next lecture we will start with existentialism. Thank you.